$10 bet, it's $69.69.
Oh, you take over? I'll take over.
We'll act like we're gonna win money.
No chance.
Not at all.
Not a shot.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Say It With Your Chest podcast. I hope you all enjoyed that intro from this video and the last video. We're testing it out. Trying to just, test it well with focus groups, this one. So, just, might get changed around, but I like it.
It's a prototype right now.
It's a prototype. I don't know. I've heard good things so far, so it's staying in for now. But the last video that we released after being gone for a little bit did well.
Yeah, not
did
too
very
bad.
well. There'll be TikToks on the way. More, obviously, YouTube, more rankings coming. We're going to be doing top 10 fantasy running backs in this video. So stay tuned for that. Just going to hit a little bit of news here before we get into that. Watch any preseason at all this year or this weekend or hear anything at all?
I attempted to. So, being a Giants fan, I wanted to see some of the starters, see how they're adjusting from the offseason, see who put in some work, see some of the rookies. I was happy with Malik Neighbors. He made a few pretty good catches against the Texans. Daniel Jones, first 2 drives, 2 picks, one of them being a pick 6. This guy's just not reading the field. I honestly feel like in the huddle he's going, yo, number whatever, I'm throwing to you. Because on the first pick he threw, he's looking at the tight end. Tight end's not even open. He pump fakes to the tight end, who's, again, not even open, and then takes 2 steps back and then throws it to the tight end, who, again, is not open, was never open, was covered the entire time, and then throws a pick 6.
I'm starting to understand why all New York Giants fans have a drinking problem. Because every time
I put down a whole bottle of Jack in the first quarter.
Yep. Every time you watch Daniel Jones go in the shotgun to take the snap, it's like you have to do a shot, because it's always going to be bad when he throws the football. And as a Panthers fan, we are speeding up right behind you guys.
I went to a game 2 seasons ago, and I watched I watched where the receivers were running. I didn't look at Jones or whatever. I just looked at our receivers. Time and time again, there was either one or more receivers wide open, no one on the field, and then he throws it to the most covered receiver, which makes me believe. And 2 years ago it was I don't want he had experience in the league 2 years ago, but it's I really believe he doesn't read the field. He just, in his mind, decides who he's going to throw to, and no matter what the coverage is, he's throwing to them. Sometimes it works out. Most of the time it doesn't. So he needs to, he just needs to calm down and just trust himself and wait for plays to develop, which I don't think he's going to do, and we're going to win 3 games this year. So
yeah, I mean, listen, I hear you. Malik Neighbors is could be a generational talent.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to have a wasted career like Saquan. But we don't bring up his name anymore, unfortunately.
What do you mean, bro? Singletary wears 26 on the Giants.
Did he actually take 26?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's 26.
Oh, that's going to be weird.
He wears it better. He does. It looks better on him.
If you used to believe that.
Looks
It's
better on
Devin
him.
Singletary we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Listen, as a Panthers fan, I'm right there behind you. Watching the Panthers play the Jets yesterday was putrid. It hurt. The Jets won by a field goal. Panthers did score, though, with 2 seconds left in the game to make it a 3-point game.
Okay.
Not enough, though. This could be a rough season for the both of us.
Yeah.
Let's just make
I'll
a
meet
pact.
you at the bar.
I'll meet you at the bar. Perfect. In other news, cracked this morning, Stephon Gilmore actually did sign a 1-year, $10 million deal to the Minnesota Vikings. So a little round of applause
$7 million
for the Minnesota Vikings. Well, it's guaranteed.
Okay, got you.
You know how it be with the money-wise. After the Vikings have just been falling apart all week on offense and defense. They
Don't really know if, what is he, 33 now? 34?
He's getting there.
I don't know.
Stephon Gilmore, 33? No, I don't think he's that. Is he that old?
He's getting up there.
Man,
He's
if
been in the league for a
only
minute.
they would put... Oh, man, you are right.
What is
He's
he?
33. He'll be 34 next month.
So, you see, I don't think a 34-year-old Stephon Gilmore is going to be the answer for the Minnesota Vikings.
Maybe
Honestly,
not the
I'm surprised he's
answer.
still getting contract offers to him. That's something I was not expecting to wake up to. And even though I'm not a Vikings fan, I don't think Viking fans should be excited about this signing.
Well,
He's not the Stephon Gilmore he was in New England.
no, but clearly they saw something. I mean, he had a decent season last year with the Cowboys. I mean, an aging Gilmore, not really done much in the last couple of years. I mean, they were able to, give him $10 million
He
for a
won
one-year deal
Defensive Player of the Year, and then
5 years ago.
I know, but I'm saying he won Defensive Player of the Year, then left the Patriots like a season or two later, and it's just the drastic change is crazy.
It's something.
Like he went from the best defensive player in the league to below average corner in a 2-year span, which is insane.
Well, that's what happens with age. I'm surprised. He's going to be 34.
By the time the season really starts.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He's I mean, maybe this is it.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens unless he has like a Pro Bowl type year.
I mean, if
Signed
I
by
was
the
him,
contract,
if I was him and I had a good season this year, I'd call it quits.
But it adds a piece to the Brian Flores Vikings offense. He is coming off of off-season surgery. Did have a torn labrum.
And they still signed him?
And they still signed him.
Dude, old.
So they must have saw something.
And coming off an injury.
And it's not like the Vikings
home.
are that desperate on defense.
No,
they
they're
finished
not.
as a top 5 defense last year,
They need to worry about the quarterback situation more than anything.
They need to worry about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Quarterback and running back, that's...
But, that was news that hit this morning. But also, this late in August, that was a pretty big story this morning when it came up. And so it was all over Twitter, ESPN, everywhere.
I mean, I just hope for his sake, he's been trained in this offseason. Wasn't signed to a team, so obviously wasn't at OTAs, wasn't at minicamp.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's been staying in shape.
That's what I mean. It's late.
It's
late, dude.
So,
2 weeks away from the season. He's signing to a new team.
Yeah, I know. He has to learn a whole new playbook.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, other than that, I mean, preseason-wise, Caleb looked good. Caleb has looked good the last 2 games against the Bills and against the Bengals. I like what I'm seeing.
I'm pretty sure I said in the last podcast, I had no faith in him. I don't.
But see, I don't know why you don't have any faith in him. He looks good.
I just get I don't know how to explain. I just have a feeling. I didn't think Caleb was going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I also had the same feeling about Joe Burrow. And then, Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. But
then again, Joe Burrow, sure, the talent is obviously there clearly. Maybe not from Caleb. Both first overall picks, though. Both have a chance to prove themselves. But the offense that Caleb is going into right now, if Joe Burrow had this offense his rookie year, we wouldn't.
It wouldn't have mattered. He tore his ACL his rookie year.
But late in the season. he tore like week 12 or week 13. So would have had 2-3 months with this offense.
Yeah.
The offense that Burrow went into was nothing.
Yeah.
He had nothing.
But he still took him to a Super Bowl.
Jamar Chase was a big deal.
A big ad, yeah.
But the Bears, you have DJ Moore, who's in the prime of his career, just signed a huge deal. He's the highest paid Bear. He's the highest paid Bear in NFL in Bears history.
You Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, granted he's aging, coming off of a phenomenal season last year. Seriously.
I'm a big believer.
He had
every team needs
1,400 yards and he had 12 touchdowns.
I'm a big believer. Every team needs that solid veteran on their team, and that's what he is for the Bears.
Yeah.
But honestly, like you said, veteran, but coming off an insane season.
Exactly.
Especially for his age.
And he's healthy right now.
I know.
So you got
that's what he needs to do. He needs to stay healthy.
Veterans in Allen and DJ Moore, and you got the rookie in Roma Dunze coming out too. So you have pretty much a 3-headed monster at the receiver position. You bring in DeAndre Swift in the backfield. Granted, he stays healthy, and then you got Cole Kmet, who's already on a big contract that he signed the year before. So the offense is there.
Caleb Williams got his weapons.
So listen, it's all on him. If he comes out and can start the season, fine. Just comparable. Seriously. He could really turn into a dual threat and turn this offense into a juggernaut. Seriously, it has the potential to be a juggernaut. You don't sign...
From what I saw this weekend, I honestly think my opinion on him is starting to switch a little bit.
I feel like it has to. Because you don't sign these amount of guys on the offense to this big of contracts if you don't believe in it. So this is now, this is year 3, I believe, under Matt Eberflus. Year 1 with a new quarterback. DJ Moore is now his second year in the system. I think, and Cole Kmet too. This is going to be now. I think this whole offense, this whole team. Also Jalen Johnson on the other side signed that $95 million deal at the cornerback position. Yeah. This whole team as a whole is going to take that next step, and seriously, they will compete for the North.
I think they're a dark horse to win. I mean, they're not my pick to win, but I definitely think if they win, or at least are in contention at the end of the season, like they're like a game out or something, I wouldn't be surprised.
If Caleb could just play... Listen, if Caleb comes out and plays like how Joe Burrow came out, his rookie year, Kyler comes out his rookie year, the Bears are going to make the playoffs. Yeah. And they're going to win at least 9-10 games. Mm-hmm. Seriously. And they have a nice schedule to start the year. I mean, they pretty much play the entire AFC South. Mm. So they're starting off Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee. But I like their chances. I really do.
I mean, the whole, it's all on Caleb Williams, Mm-hmm. All these players have established themselves, except for him. But, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job in preseason, but at the end of the day, it's preseason. So,
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Another thing I want to talk about, I don't know if you saw it in the Cowboys game, Brandon Aubrey hit a 66-yard field goal.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
I saw it and then swiped away, right? Because I was like, It's a kick. What are we talking about? But then when I saw the number again, I was like, that was the NFL record. Yeah. Like, that tied the record. Yeah, and that was in a preseason game. Like, nobody's hit that. No one's hit a 66-yard kick since Tucker did.
Are they counting that as a record or not because it's a preseason?
I think because it's a preseason game, they're not.
I wouldn't.
No, they're not going to count it. Yeah. But it's still crazy that in a preseason game, why even bother taking the kick? You know what I mean? Then he hits a 66-yard kick.
It doesn't really matter. You hit it, you don't, you don't. It doesn't matter if you win or lose those games.
But, why go out? I mean, bro just tied the NFL record for the kick in the preseason. It's such blue balls.
Did the defense try to block it, or was it they
kind
of let off easy?
I mean, he looked like he could have kicked that bitch from 72.
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie, I didn't see the actual play, but I saw, the headline that he hit it.
He hit 66 and it went through. He could have went back 2 or 3 more yards. The one that Tucker kicked, he put his whole body into that.
Yeah, and it bounced off the...
Yeah, he hit that perfectly 66 yards. Aubrey could have kicked that bitch from 69, 70. Seriously, it went through and hit the back net. I
mean, hey, Justin Tucker's been in the league a long time.
He's a skinny, small dude, though.
No, I know, but,
Aubrey's a little bigger.
No, I know, but I'm saying, he could have some wear and tear,
All right, other news.
What was I saying?
You want to take this one?
No, I was saying something about Justin Tucker.
Skinny, small dude.
Oh, yeah. So, Justin Tucker, he's been in the league a long time. Mm-hmm. He's getting a little up there in age.
Yep.
So, obviously, his leg strength isn't going to be the best. But, that Cowboys kicker, he's, what, rookie? I don't really know. I don't pay attention to Cowboys.
This is, I think his 3rd year in the league.
Okay, still, he's a young guy.
Bigger guy.
Yeah,
too.
He's bigger, so I'm not surprised that someone has tied the record. You never know. Maybe this guy's the next.
You think he gets broken this year?
I mean, shit. If he had an extra 2-3 yards on that kick, I wouldn't be surprised if they attempted it.
I feel like there was nobody really attempting many kicks plus 65 yards.
Yeah, because that's crazy.
Who's kicking that? But now that Tucker kicked a 66. Now there's certain teams that are going to send their kicker out, that the last 2 seasons they've been sending their kicker out at post 65 yards, and they're like, if he did it, you should be able to do it. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, speaking of kickers, Bengals, Evan McPherson agreed to a 3-year, $16.5 million contract extension. So I guess that's big news. He's a stud kicker,
Money Mac.
So, I mean. Deserves the money. Mm-hmm. Definitely does. So a lot of kicker news going on. So congratulations to him and the
kickers very often.
Congratulations to him and the Bengals. That's big. Any other preseason stuff you want to hit on before we get on to the running backs? Anything you want to speak now or forever hold your peace?
I'm pretty sure we hit everything. We talked about the games. We talked about Gilmore.
Yeah.
Evan McPherson.
Listen, I'm just excited.
Yeah.
We're getting so close to the season.
I'm sick of preseason. I just want the regular season already. And I will be at the Giants home opener game against the Vikings. So
look at this guy.
I'm excited.
I'll be at a bar drinking, watching the Giants and Panthers both lose.
Hey. But
Well,
we talked about this in the last.
You'll watch the Giants lose
No.
in person.
No. We talked about this in the last pod. The Vikings are in kind of a shambles right now.
And they're still going to beat the Giants.
You shut your mouth.
I'm going to put so much money on the Vikings.
Yeah? Guess what?
Hold on, you know what? Actually, now that you say that, I'm going to actually check who I took. I did bet on week 1 games already.
I made some parlays for the season, but I'm going to stay away from betting because I am on a budget. Your boy is broke.
I'm broke, homie.
Yep.
I took the Vikings, yeah.
You took the Vikings?
Duh.
You're losing some money.
And they're currently, they're still the favorites. How? The Giants are not good at football. They don't have a good team. Granted, the Vikings suck. Giants suck more.
We win some games.
It's not going to look good week 1.
We'll see. I just hope I get to see Malik Neighbors.
Let's see what they are right now.
Person.
More bets. Let's see what the line is set right now.
Another video.
Still the same time. Still the same line. No, this what?
That bet should be.
Yeah, that's fine.
That should be a
TikTok. We
TikTok.
got 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
that will come out anyway.
All
All right. I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
On to the running backs.
You want me to start this one?
Yeah, you can start this one.
Okay.
That's fine.
So,
Top 10 fantasy running backs for the upcoming 2024 season. If you haven't already watched our last video, we did top 10 fantasy quarterback rankings. So go ahead and check that video. A link to that video will probably be at the end of the video or in the description. So you can go see that. On to the running backs.
All right, so
What do you got at 10?
Number 10, you're not going to like this. Honestly, I don't even think people at home watching are going to like this. But I got James Cook.
James Cook? That's not even a bad... I actually have him at 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually right outside my top 10.
You know, as someone who had James Cook on one of his teams last year, he's very capable of being a top 10 back. You know? Like last year, he had 5 games above with 19 or more points. All right, so James Cook last season had 5 games with 19 or more points. He had back-to-back weeks against Kansas City and Dallas with 25.1 points and 36.1 points. So, I mean, I really feel like this is his year to make a jump in the fantasy rankings.
And the Bills lost some people.
They did. They lost Diggs, so maybe they're focused more on the run game.
Yeah.
You know, but because their wide receiver core not very strong.
What did he finish last year? Do you know?
He finished as running back 11.
Exactly where I have him.
Wait, that's what he's predicted. How the fuck do I
So
find
he's
that?
projected this year?
Yeah, this is play rankings. I don't know where to find where he finished.
The Bills, though, they lost some people. Last year, when they fired their offensive coordinator in the middle of the season, you saw the production of Stephon Diggs drop drastically and the production of James Cook raise drastically.
Wait.
James Cook was a top...
Timeout.
What's up?
How do I find where he was ranked? I'm so confused. I don't know how to use Sleeper.
First I gotta find it. Jesus, right here. Oh shit. You just you click on the player.
Yeah, but nothing changes.
What comes up for you when you click on the player?
This stuff. See, these are like, I'm pretty sure these are this year's.
Maybe click on 2023 or
Whoops.
is that like
I did. It doesn't change. And like I scrolled down too. I thought it would say it down.
Oh,
here.
you got a thing too. Oh, here you go. 12.
Oh, okay.
He finished 12
Oh,
last year.
Okay.
do it? 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. So James Cook finished at 12 last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this year without Stephon Diggs and a weak receiving core, the Bills are going to rely more on him, and he's going to crack the top 10 for the first time in his career.
Yeah,
Because he finished 12, and then the year before that in 2022, he finished 44.
as a rookie.
Yeah, so that's a big jump, 44 to 12.
Well, I mean, the amount of volume he was getting the
No, I
back
know.
half of last year
He went
was
from-
insane.
I know he got 91 carries his entire rookie season, and then last year he had 237.
Exactly.
So
He was going from 15 carries a game to like 20 something carries a game, plus receiving too.
the only problem is he's yet to crack more than 2 touchdowns on the ground. Both seasons he has 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah.
2 rushing touchdowns
Interesting.
in both seasons. So,
All right.
but he did have 2 receiving touchdowns as well. Oh no,
I think he had more
my
than
bad.
that.
I read that wrong. He had 4 receiving touchdowns.
Right.
So I mean that's
He
still
did
gonna
pretty
count.
good through
But
the air.
he needs to put it in.
And that was just in the back half of the year.
I know.
Too.
But he needs to put it in on the ground more.
Is that it for him?
Yeah, that's all I got for.
Well, before we get into my 10, I do have some honorable mentions as long as James Cook, just right outside the top 10, along with Rashad White and Aaron Jones. For me personally, Aaron Jones going from the Packers to the Vikings sucks that the Vikings don't have a quarterback, but I still think Aaron Jones is going to finish high, and you can get him for a discount in your fantasy drafts. He's going, I believe, in like the 7th or 8th round, which that's a value in my eyes. You know, Packers went and replaced Aaron Jones with Josh Jacobs. You know, I don't know. So my take on Josh Jacobs is very different for everybody else, as everybody else likes Josh Jacobs a lot. I think with Kevin O'Connell in this offense, Aaron Jones is going to flourish. And that's just me. And I think that you could definitely get him for a discount in your fantasy drafts. But my 10 is actually going to be, hold on. Let me just fix something real quick. All right, coming in for me at 10 is Devon Achane.
Okay.
The speedster over there in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, and we'll end this year, sharing a backfield with Raheem Mostert. I think he gets a lot more touches this year. Clearly the speed is there. There's nobody in the secondary that could catch him. You know, once he breaks through the first and second level, he's gone. You're pretty much guaranteed a touchdown. As long as he could just stay healthy, because last year he got injured 2 separate times, missed a bunch of weeks, and that sucked. But every time he was on the field, his production was incredible. 15, 20 total touches a game, could take the ball to the house at any point, along with majority of the players on the Dolphins. But Raheem Mostert, despite him being fast, is also aging a lot and also gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So with Raheem Mostert, you know, they split the backfield, but Raheem Mostert, you know, once he gets injured again, and he will, I feel like Devon Achane is just going to take over this backfield completely. And,
I
finishes
mean,
the top 10 back.
that game
year.
he had last year, I think against the Broncos, kind of sums up like what he could do.
He had over 50 fantasy points.
I know.
that
I remember
game.
like seeing
It
like
was insane.
like updates about it because I had most of that game, and he also had an insane game. Forgot what he had, but he was doing pretty well.
Dude, I remember I had Tyreek Hill, right? And obviously Tyreek had an insane season last year, but he had like 30-something points.
Yeah.
And that's usually high.
Yeah.
Mostert and HN just
I know.
blew him out of the water.
I kept getting like notifications on my phone about the like just what Mostert was doing, and I just turned on I had to go turn on the game, and I saw HN. I was like, yeah, this kid's gonna be good.
This kid's gonna be
This
good.
kid's gonna be good. So
All right, so on to your
that's
9.
a very respectable number 10, I must say.
Yeah.
At number 9, I have Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, so do I.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hell yeah, brother.
So we could actually talk about this together then.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he's fine. Like he's gonna have over 1,100 yards. You know, I think they're gonna rely on him more in his 3rd season. Finished last year ranked the 15th quarterback. So I think he's quarterback. My bad. Running back. So I think he's gonna make a jump in his fantasy projections.
Where's Pacheco? I thought he finished higher than that. Oh,
No,
he
he
was
finished
15.
15th.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought he finished in the top 10.
No.
Oh.
And again, I did have him in one of my leagues last year. He did pretty well for me.
No, he was good. I mean, he did miss some time.
Yeah.
But 205 attempts on the ground, almost 1,000 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns.
4 games over 20
I think his
points.
production and volume will just increase this year, and the Chiefs' offense, they get a little better. The receiver situation is kind of a mess right now with Rashee Rice and the legal stuff going on. Hollywood's
Hopefully
not
that
fully
gets
healthy,
figured out
so it's really
soon.
like Xavier Worthy, the rookie that they drafted, and MVS, and an aging Travis Kelce, who I don't know if you saw the article that came out. He said that he said last year he took a lot of like damage to his body.
Oh, I believe it.
Because every year he's like, as long as, I know I get older, but I've been feeling fine.
Yeah.
He said last year took a toll on him.
Yeah.
Completely.
I believe it, man.
So I don't know if that's going to affect where people maybe draft him this year, how they view him this year. But Pacheco, receiving and rushing.
I think
Great
Mahomes
pickup.
will go look at him
Yeah.
a lot more, especially in the receiving game.
Great pickup for fantasy. I think he's just going to get a lot of volume. I expect him to have at least 10 rushing touchdowns this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you have last year? He was
It's 7.
7, right?
Yeah. Definitely a good player to look towards.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a very solid.
All right, want me to do my 8?
No, I'll do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got a little
Forgot
system
where we
here,
put
John.
this
Come
in.
on.
Yeah.
Number 8, I have Derrick Henry. I know this one John actually found out before we started recording this, and I know he wasn't happy. He didn't like.
Not that I wasn't happy. I just don't have him.
Yeah, I know you don't have him on your list, but I
here.
mean, he finished as the 8th running back last year with 1,100 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns.
He had a bad offense, and he still finished 8.
But I mean, this year, he's on a new team. He's on the Ravens now. Run heavy offense. So I think they're giving him over 15 carries a game. I know he's older, but at the end of the day, he's still Derrick Henry. He'll still run anybody over in the league.
No, great line, great coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think Baltimore, you think running.
I know.
And they will bring in
can run.
3 or 4 different running backs, including Lamar, and they will run you out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Seriously.
See, it's just not fair for me because Derrick Henry is 6'2", 247 pounds.
Big boy.
And this man can run like hell. He's fast. He's powerful. He's elusive. Like, you can't tackle this man. So, like, the fact that you don't even have him in your top 10 is
I have him
mind-boggling.
outside the top 10. He's in my 11 through 15 range. He's in there.
Yeah, that he shouldn't be.
I think that's
he should
fine.
be in your top 10 range.
Nah.
That's crazy.
I just don't think so, because I think that
The only reason I didn't put him
have to.
higher is because, one, his age, he's getting old. He's 30 years old. A little older for a running back. And also just a new offense. Yes, I know. I think he's going to thrive in the offense, but at the end of the day, we've seen players have to, take some time to get used to the new offense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, if I were to put him at in the top 10, he would be at maybe 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every guy I have above him is a receiving back. Henry is not a receiving back.
He doesn't.
Henry would have to run for 1,500 yards and like 13 touchdowns on the ground.
I mean, he really doesn't need
to be up above 8. Granted, he still can do it. I know he's getting a little older, but the Ravens, this is the team to do it. He's literally on the perfect team, perfect scenario.
I mean, and also just like in the previous years, he finished 8, 4, 21, and then 3.
Yeah.
Like he's always in that conversation outside of that.
I mean, listen, I don't believe that, he's going to finish 10. I mean, there's just so much younger talent in the league, and there's names here that we're not even talking about that could still finish in the top 10.
Let the veteran rock.
Listen, once I see it, let me get a year with him in the Ravens offense with Lamar. If he rushes for 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground, so be it.
I think, honestly, 13 plus 100 yards is very attainable for him this season.
Sure.
I think
he gets 1,000, no problem.
Oh, easily.
1,000. I think it's all about touchdowns.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think it is about touchdowns because
you just gotta hope they're not doing too many read options and Lamar just takes it and runs.
Harbaugh, he likes to just throw 4 different guys back there. So if Derrick Henry is not bringing it down to the 1 and then taking it in,
I feel like he should be the red zone, the goal line running back.
Yeah, but like
they don't have a bigger back
if
on the
he
team.
runs it down to the 1, will they just keep him in to run it in?
They better.
I don't think he's gonna get the ball as much as you maybe think.
You see,
He's not that 25 rushes a game.
no, I understand
running
that,
back
but you see,
anymore.
for me, if I have Derrick Henry
Yeah.
on my team, and we're down at the 1,
You would think to put
I'm
him in.
putting Derrick Henry in. If I'm a head coach,
Even if he
ever
was
in my
in
life,
for-
I will put my most, my biggest running back, most hard-hitting running back in the game if we're on the 1-yard line.
But it's the Ravens, and even if he played that entire drive, right, with no break,
Still put him in.
you would put him in.
I would.
Yeah.
But also, I know this kind of
The Ravens coaches don't think like that.
contradicting my argument here. But also, just keep him in because then the defense doesn't know if they're going to get Derrick Henry or if they're going to get Lamar Jackson. I'd personally rather have Lamar Jackson than Derrick Henry.
I just think there's too many
if I need a
options
tackle
there
somewhere.
where it's like, I don't know, Derrick Henry is going to have to do a lot to get to that 8th spot or higher.
I think he can do it. I think he still has it in him.
My
think he's done
8th
kicking
spot is a little controversial.
Okay.
Now, I absolutely love this player, right? But, and this 8th player is Jahmyr Gibbs, okay?
Okay. Why is that controversial?
Because I think it's a little low, and I don't want to put him this low.
Mhm.
But let me just hear me out here, okay? The Lions just have such a good offense, okay? Last year, everybody had Jahmyr Gibbs as high as they had Bijan Robinson last year, the 2 rookies.
Yes.
Okay. People forgot about David Montgomery in the backfield. David Montgomery arguably played better than Jahmyr Gibbs last year. He had way more touchdowns, way more yards on the ground. And David Montgomery was healthy all year. That was they have a fucking double-edged sword back there in the backfield. David Montgomery is not old, okay? He's like 27, 28 years old. Young, still on contract, okay? Jahmyr Gibbs does not have control of that backfield yet, okay? Despite him having more of the receiving work when he's on the field and healthy, David Montgomery is still there fully healthy and just coming off of one of the best seasons he's had in his career, NFL-wise. So I just don't see how Jahmyr Gibbs could actually reach a top, 6-5 potential when David Montgomery is also hitting that peak as well. Unless because both of them are splitting the work. So David Montgomery, as long as David Montgomery is there and healthy, I don't see how Jahmyr Gibbs could hit that ceiling. That's just my take. Because last year everyone thought Jahmyr Gibbs was going to have control of that backfield and finish as a top 5 fantasy running back. And then David Montgomery comes out and scores like 13 rushing touchdowns on the year, 1,000 yards on the ground. Everyone was like, well, what the fuck? Put the rookie in. Obviously, the rookie showed flashes back half of the year. He comes out, he starts taking control, especially taking advantage of the games that Montgomery did miss. Comes out and finishes as a top 12 running back on the week. So obviously the talent is there. I'm not saying the talent is there. I would love to put Jahmyr Gibbs higher. I just can't. Overall, there's too many mouths to feed in the Lions offense, and until Montgomery is not there or is hurt for the year, I can't put Jahmyr Gibbs higher.
Okay.
So that's my argument for that.
I mean, I'm a little sneak peek right now. Jahmyr Gibbs is high on my list. That's why I'm kind of quiet right now. But
Okay.
So yeah, I'll get into him a little bit. That's
fine.
Later.
I know everyone has him up there, and I just want to actually see real quick.
His flashes were.
He's
going
as the 4th or 5th running back off the board right now.
I
have him going as the 8th.
Okay.
I could possibly bump him up to 7, but I really wouldn't go higher than that because everybody else I believe will finish higher than him that I have on my list.
Okay.
Seriously, I truly believe that.
All right.
That's all I got.
So, number 7, I have Travis Etienne.
So do I.
I feel like he's going to fall down, be a little less productive this season. Last year he finished as RB3 in the fantasy rankings. This year he's projected to go 3rd overall. Not overall, 3rd running back taken off the board.
2, 3.
And I mean, he did have.
He's going a little later than he should be, but
he had a crazy little stint last year. He had a 4-week stint where he had 36, 23, 22, 25. But I don't know. I feel like he's gonna take a little dip in this season.
I think he'll take a step back.
Yeah,
for sure.
He just barely made it over 1,000 yards last year. Just
barely. The touchdowns is what did it.
Yeah, I know.
He had 12 total touchdowns last year.
I don't think he's getting that many touchdowns. I feel like he's going to finish in like the
No,
more.
well, yeah. I mean, touchdowns is a
between
big thing. Unless you're like consistently putting up 12 to 1,300 yards on the ground, it comes with the touchdowns.
Yeah, I
And
think
he
he's
had
going to put
12.
up around 5 to 8.
12 touchdowns is a lot. That's why he finished so high.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to finish around like the 5 to 8 range with touchdowns, but I think he might have, if not around the same yards, maybe like hit the 1,100 mark maybe.
Yep.
Which 1,100 yards is going to boost him a little bit, but I don't see him being as productive in the end zone.
Well, he also hasn't missed a game in the last 2 seasons. So as long as he stays healthy and play every game, me personally, this is why I put him just slightly over Jahmyr Gibbs, because the Jaguars don't have a lot of mouths to feed. And
they don't.
Travis Etienne owns that backfield. Okay, he's going to get the ball 25 times a game, like a Derrick Henry.
No, I know. I mean,
big back, big running back. He's going to get the ball.
He's not that big.
Bigger. He's
5'10".
5'10", 2. I thought he was a little taller.
5'10", 215.
He looks big on the field. Anyway.
Okay.
When he's healthy, he's going to get the ball 20 to 25 games a year. He has. The last
I know
he's
he
played
does.
every game.
But that could change in
Jahmyr Gibbs is not getting the ball 20 times a game. And even if David Montgomery was there, I don't think he still would have the ball 20 times a game.
You see, this kind of goes more on like his overall team because I don't have faith in the Jags.
Oh, neither do I.
So I feel like he's gonna get like caught up in the bad play that's going on in Jacksonville. So I don't think he's gonna have a very nice.
But maybe that's just another time to flourish. Maybe that's just his time.
It could be.
While everything's burning, Travis is running for 1,400 yards on the ground.
Dude, flames are contagious.
I do think that the Jaguars are, they lost Calvin Ridley and the team is just kind of falling apart. But I think him and Ingram are still going to have great years, a great season.
No, I think Ingram's going to have a good year.
Yeah.
Etienne, I don't know.
All right.
I mean, I still have him at 7, which is
7. That's great.
Yeah, it's
that's
not
a great
terrible.
finish. No. Going from 3 to 4, 3 to 7. That's not
terrible.
That's not a terrible drop off at all.
So
it's all
could
top
be
10.
Worse.
Listen, it's hard to repeat. In the top 5.
I know.
But yeah, that's all I got for him.
Yeah. Who you got at 7?
Me? I had him. Travis Etienne.
Oh, you had the same guy?
That's why I was talking about him with you.
Oh, awesome.
I had him there too.
Okay, then I guess I'll just go to number 6, which is...
Tell me who your number 6 is, Kev.
Number 6
I can't wait to see it.
Okay, I memorized it. Number 6 is the one, the only... Okay, Thomas, you went too fucking fast.
You were making it just... I cut it. Go back.
Okay, number 6 is the one, the only Jonathan Taylor.
The one and the only, and you have him at 6.
Yeah.
He had such a big introduction, he's at 6.
Nah. Well, you see, the only reason I didn't put him higher, he missed a lot of games last year.
Yeah. He's had a rough 2 years.
Yeah, he has.
But he's back and he's fully healthy.
See, that's...
I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Like you said, had a rough 2 years.
Yep.
He's been missing a lot of games. I need to see him be healthy before I put him back in that top 5 conversation.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's literally... Because I wish... I love Jonathan Taylor. I wish I could put him in the top 5. If he was healthy all of last year, I would have. But, I mean, he finished 30... He was the running back 33 last year.
He only played 10 games.
I know.
Colts offense wasn't good.
He was running back 33 the last 2 years.
Colts offense hasn't been good.
No, I know, but he went from 1 to 33
but
2 years in a row.
But you see when he plays full seasons with what he puts up.
See,
listen,
he's
he
had
got
it-
the
he had-
ball
he's having trouble.
332 times.
Yeah, but John,
All right?
you don't.
Let me know when
having
Travis
trouble
Etienne
staying on
or
the
anybody
field.
else gets that ball.
I'm not
22.
putting him
I know.
higher if you can't stay on
Well,
the
this was
field.
Christian McCaffery's argument. That's why everyone
Yeah, but Christian McCaffrey's had a great past few seasons.
Yeah, so why can't he next season?
I need to see it first. Because I was with the McCaffrey.
Right.
I need to see that you're going to stay healthy.
Well, McCaffrey already did that.
No,
Same
I'm
with
saying
Jonathan
in the
Taylor.
past I was like with them. I didn't rank McCaffrey as high because I wanted to see him stay healthy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Now that he's staying healthy,
You must look foolish.
dude, he's up there. Don't worry, he's up there.
He's up there. He'll never leave the 1 spot as long as he's playing.
You sure about that?
He was still 1 when he was hurt.
Who says I have him number 1?
Don't. The whole list is invalid.
Who says I have him number 1? Who says he's even on my list? He might be an honorable mention.
Right. Devin Singletary. He's
Yeah,
number
bro,
1.
I'm telling you, best player to ever wear 26 in
But,
New York.
You see, Jonathan Taylor, when he plays a full season, he's unstoppable.
I know. I mean, I definitely think he'll finish top 5 if he stays healthy, but
All right, that's all right.
I think he might miss a few games this year, putting him just outside.
All right, that's it. You got your fucking soapbox moment. All right. I'm gonna go here.
All right, who's your number 6?
My number 6, your best good old pal, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Now, I know that if Hank was here, or when he watches this video, if he doesn't watch any of our content, he would actually be, I think he'd be a little shocked that I have him this high. And I think I do have him pretty high.
I'm not going to lie.
At 6.
I'm not going to lie. Yes, I am no longer a Saquon Barkley fan, but given his situation that he's in on the Eagles offense with that O-line,
fan? You guys did him dirty.
No, he could go fuck himself signing with the.
And this is why you guys will never be good ever.
Signing with the Eagles.
Good.
With the Eagles.
I would have did the same thing.
No, screw him.
You guys did him dirty.
No, but hear me out.
Why'd you guys franchise tag him? Should have just paid him his contract.
You know our GM is not right up.
So there. It's the Giants' fault then.
I don't like him.
I get that you hate the Eagles, but you could be a Saquon fan.
No, I'm not a Saquon fan.
All right.
But that being said, I do think you put him a little bit too low on your list.
Oh, low.
I have him higher.
Okay.
I have him high, and I even think I put him too low.
Well, I'll tell you, I think 6 is honestly a great ranking for me personally right now.
Okay.
Because, him with the Giants, it's just been miserable.
Yeah.
And he also had that 2-year stint where he was hurt as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every top running back has had that 2 years where they can't get it figured out. They've been hurt.
Especially if they're on a pretty bad team.
And then the Giants go to the playoffs and he comes back and he was the 5th running back on the year.
Uh-huh.
Great. Fucking 1,300 yards on the ground. Obviously the touchdowns. He had no receiving touchdowns that year. So he's the 5th running back with no receiving touchdowns, which is crazy work.
I'm sick to my stomach seeing him in
10 rushing touchdowns, 57 catches, 338 yards. Great season. Last year finished as the running back 13 somehow in 14 games. So obviously the talent is still there. When he's healthy, it's what he puts on the field is great. And now with the Eagles,
I think he's good at rushing.
He's got one of the top offensive line. He's on one of the best offenses in the league. You can argue it's the best offense in the NFC.
Saquon could come out and rush for 1,500 yards, and I wouldn't blink an eye.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I hope he doesn't.
If he plays every game and Jalen Hurts just doesn't steal his touchdowns at the goal line, Saquon should rush from anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 yards and get 10 touchdowns again. Double digits. He should be in the double digit touchdowns again. And I like it the first year on a new offense before people start figuring him out and the offense as a whole. I think this year he does well. I think he'll prove me wrong and maybe finish higher than 6.
The only downside, because yes, I have him higher than you do. The only downside that I was going to mention when I brought him up, is that he likes to dance. Obviously I watched in the first, 4 years of his career now, or 5, something like that.
This
will be what, his 6th or his 5th?
3, 4. This will be his 7th.
It's been like 7 years.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be his 7th year.
Christ. Okay, so I've watched him
right?
for almost a decade.
Dude, this is McCaffery's 8th. I know.
Dude, all right. So I watched Saquon for almost a decade.
Yep.
Ever since he tore.
That's crazy.
Ever since he tore his ACL.
Yep.
He likes to dance too much. He doesn't like to just lower his shoulder and take a hit. And sometimes, you don't always have to do that. But a lot of the times, he instead of just making one cut and going, he makes one cut and then for some reason makes another one, and then we'll make another one, and then I'll make another one, and then he's 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I think if he could just go back to his old ways of just making one cut and then just lowering your shoulder and running through a guy that you're clearly bigger than, he'll be fine.
Saquon was really good his rookie year.
I know he was.
That was a long time ago
excited. I remember watching him at Penn State and thinking, wow, this guy's good. And then we drafted him, and then I watched his rookie season and said, wow, this guy's really good. And then each year I went, oh.
Dude, this is
he's not gonna be good for
the
us.
numbers he had that year. I didn't even realize that. I'm looking at him now, and I'm like, wow, damn. Bro, 91 catches from a receiver. I mean, that's McCaffery stuff right there. That's insane. He had 15 total touchdowns, man. You guys fucked up.
Stop.
Sorry. All right, you're up. Into the top 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. All right.
I have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
I mean, I think, like you were mentioning with David Montgomery, how everyone thought last year Gibbs was going to take over the backfield, but then David Montgomery had whatever his stats were.
We'll get him right now for you.
Yeah, I forgot what you
David Montgomery, 1,000 yards on the ground, 13 rushing touchdowns.
That's what I don't think is going to happen.
No,
he's not getting, like, I think.
And that was in 14 games.
Yeah,
too.
no, I
he
think
missed 3 games.
I think Gibbs is going to really take over with his touchdowns this year. He still had 11 total touchdowns last year. So he was right behind Montgomery.
Gibbs actually did finish higher fantasy-wise because
I know.
Gibbs played one more game than him, but
he
Gibbs
did
also
have less yards and then 2 less touchdowns.
Gibbs had 10 rushing touchdowns anyway. Montgomery had more, but
I think this year Gibbs has at least 1,100 yards.
I don't see both of them putting up double-digit rushing touchdowns.
I think they're going to lean more on Gibbs this year and kind of stray away from Montgomery. Maybe have Montgomery be like
they had 23
like a third down back.
rushing touchdowns, just both of them
Why
on the
covering your
ground
face?
because I can't believe it. You know what I mean? That's insane.
I know.
23 rushing touchdowns from the both of them.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What the fuck?
Actually, no, I don't want to say that. I would be surprised. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to end with 10 touchdowns again, rushing,
You were so good.
and then maybe 1 or 2 more touchdowns with the receiving. But I mean, granted, he is on a very good Lions team with a lot of weapons.
Yep.
But I think, what's the coach name? Campbell. I think Campbell's going to rely a lot on Gibbs and the rushing attack this year. So.
No Monty?
Like I said, I think Monty's going to be maybe a third down.
You don't think Monty? What?
Well, when Gibbs needs a break, yeah, go in. I think Monty has a chance to be one of the top number 2s. But
I don't. It's a split backfield.
No, I think they're gonna give it to. I think Gibbs has it this year.
How do you tell the guy that just rushed for 1,000 yards and 13 rushing touchdowns and played majority of the season that you're gonna take a back seat to the rookie here?
It's a business.
He's on contract.
It's a business.
He has to play.
It's a business.
Your business moves make no sense.
We'll see at the end of the season.
Okay. Sure, we'll see. If Monty gets hurt, then I don't really have an argument. But if Monty
gets hurt week 1,
that would blow. Oh my god!
Emergency podcast.
Dude, I would just go on live, like on TikTok or something, or Instagram, and we would have to just spill that. Like, fuck, we fucked up.
Yo, Kevin was on to something.
All right, my 5. Also, I think a little controversial. People, I think, would say I have him too low. Yeah. But I'm going to get into that in a minute. My number 5 is Bijan Robinson.
Wow.
Yeah, I have him at 5. And to be honest, I think I have him perfectly rated. He finished at the 9th spot last year when everyone thought he was going to finish at 1 or higher than 1. I mean, the hype this guy received last year for a mediocre Falcons roster in general. And everyone thought, dude, Bijan, he's going to finish higher than McCaffery. Yeah. And you know what? He's going to finish just like whatever McCaffery would finish higher as, he's going to finish higher than that. I was like, this guy, I mean, people were hyping him up.
Before he even played down in the NFL.
Down in the NFL, seriously. And he still finished top 10. Like, he still finished 9th. Like,
he didn't live up to the hype, but, his hype was so high, it's really hard to live up to it, even if you're a veteran in the league.
Like, dude, I'm expecting Bijan to actually finish, 1 or 2, and then, then the expectations would have been filled.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Gibbs finished 9 and 10 on the year as rookies, which is great.
That's amazing.
But I can't, people have him finishing top 3 this year,
People do.
I think top 5 is hard enough to do, and I think he's going to have to get a lot of work on this offense. Listen, the offense, I think, has gotten a little better. You right over there?
Me?
No, him.
Oh. Our producer just really agrees with you, John, that people have him finishing top 3 this year.
They do.
Yeah.
No, he's going as the running back 2 and 3 behind McCaffery.
But you don't think so?
I don't think so. Listen, he played every single game last year. Okay, this year, Falcons offense, yes, definitely got better. Bring in Kirk Cousins, you now have a quarterback. You have a quarterback.
Yeah.
You have a brand new coach. Okay. Bijan should finish higher than 9. I gave him 5. Listen, let's see. What do you have? He had 976 yards on the ground.
I'm just saying,
only 4 rushing touchdowns.
I'm just saying, I definitely don't.
So
have
was
him
not
in my
getting
top 3.
Was not getting a lot of work around the goal line or in the red zone for that matter. I mean, he had 4 receiving touchdowns, which was on the high end. Yeah. Weirdly enough, a lot of receivers or running backs weren't catching a lot of.
But I mean, you gotta think his coach last year is just like, not the best.
No. Well, and which is crazy because the coach he had in Arthur Smith likes to run the football.
No, I know.
So that's why I think a lot of people expected him to have 1,500 yards on the ground, double-digit touchdowns. Like the receiving work is.
See, people were talking about him having that though before he was even drafted. We didn't even know what team he was going to, and people were saying he's going to be the best running back in the league.
Yeah, and then he went to the Falcons, and everyone was like, the GOAT.
Yeah.
Number 1. Like receiving wise, 500 yards through the air. 4 touchdowns, 58 catches. That's a decent line. I think that will get raised a little bit, because Kirk is there. He's going to be the captain of the offense. I think he'll dish him out a little bit more. The rushing for me just has to come up. I mean, he was lacking touchdowns, like 8 total touchdowns for the guy that you thought was going to finish top 3 on the year. That's not good at all, So I think the touchdowns will go up a little bit. That's why I have him going from 9 to 5. I just don't see I don't think he gets enough volume and enough total yardage to finish as a top 3 running back this year. And I have to see it first from the Falcons. I have to see how Kirk looks. I have to see how he's dishing the ball out to Drake London and Kyle Pitts. If he's dishing it out to Bijan Robinson, how the receiving stats look for him.
No.
What?
Nothing. Wrong team.
Good.
I was gonna name somebody who's not on that team.
Oh, okay. But that's just my take for him. And listen, he is more than welcome to prove me wrong and finish higher than 5. I think 5 is very generous.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But a lot of people, have him finishing right by McCaffery. I don't believe that.
Okay. At number 4, I have Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
So obviously we talked about him, and
that I think is
the only reason I didn't put him as 3. Isn't for my hate for him. It's not because of my hate. It's literally like I was saying when you brought him up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that his not being confident in his style.
Okay.
I don't think he's gonna lower his shoulder. I think he's gonna take some time to actually get used to having a good O-line for once, and just having the holes be there.
Mm-hmm.
So all he has to do is run through the hole. In New York, he was. He had to make his own holes. He bounced a lot of plays outside.
He had a shit O-line.
Yeah, so I think this year was one of the best O-lines in the league. He's gonna have a good, especially back half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the first 2-3 weeks it's gonna take him a little time to get used to. Be like, holy crap! I don't have to do so much more. I just have to play running back. It's just simple again, and so that's why I have him at 4, just because. It's going to take him some time, but I do think if he gets used to it earlier, he'll finish high.
I mean, listen, if Saquon plays healthy, what we're already thinking that he will do with this Eagles offense if he stays healthy.
Yeah, he did miss 4 games.
He should finish top 3, top 5.
Yeah. He could compete with.
We just got to see it first. That's it. That's all.
I wouldn't be surprised if he competed with McCaffery for number 1.
I think that's a tall order.
I still think obviously McCaffrey's going to be number 1 because McCaffery, but
yeah, as long as obviously if he stays healthy, I don't think anybody takes that crown.
Yeah, but if anyone's going to challenge him, it's going to be.
It would be off in touchdowns.
It could be Saquon.
The only way
but I think seriously, he's finishing 4.
The only way seriously that a running back could take McCaffery off of his pedestal is strictly off of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because McCaffery, he gets the ball 30 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's not just on the ground; that is through the air.
No, I know.
Okay, so when he puts up,
I feel like we should talk about this when McCaffery comes up on all this, because I know for a fact we have him at the same spot.
That's fine. All right. We'll move on to what am I at? 4? Yes. My 4 spot.
Yes.
All right, my 4 spot. Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
That's who I have at 4. I'm not gonna lie, my 4-3-2-1 to me is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else was a little hard to rank from 5 and down. But I think my 4-3-2-1 is perfect in my opinion. So obviously Jonathan Taylor. I'll now pick up from what you left off at. All right, with your Jonathan Taylor take. Jonathan Taylor, when he's on the field, is everything you want in a running back. Okay, he catches it, he runs it, he actually gets the ball 30 times just on the ground.
Mhm.
All right, like a Derrick Henry. He's a workhorse. Okay, when he played all 17 games his second year in the league, he put up almost 2,000 yards on the ground. That's Derrick Henry numbers right there.
Yeah.
18 rushing touchdowns is absolutely absurd. That's an anomaly. That will probably not happen again, at least not this year. 18 rushing touchdowns is ridiculous. He also had two receiving touchdowns. So he had 20 total touchdowns on the year. That's not happening. All right, we're gonna bring that down a little bit because that's actually ridiculous.
Okay.
Because he had such a ridiculous sophomore year.
Yeah.
But if he plays majority of games this year, I think with a healthy Anthony Richardson, a healthy offensive line, Shane Steichen is going to run the ball down everyone's throat with these two guys. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is in position to rush for at least 1,400 yards. And I would say double-digit touchdowns, not 20-something, but,
I think that's
11,
I think
12.
that's very attainable if he stays healthy.
Very obtainable. And obviously, Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the league when he's fully healthy. So I don't see how he can finish less than that. I think top 5 is
I just
definitely
I
there.
said, I need to see it first. I need to see him being healthy again.
See him being healthy again is one thing, but you know that the talent is there. I mean, if you see him play.
But there's a lot of running backs that the
he's
talent
fully
was
healthy,
there, but they just couldn't stay
all
on
right,
the
he's
field.
fully healthy next year. Where do you actually think he'll finish?
If he's fully healthy, I'd put him probably like 3-2.
Right.
Like if he's fully healthy.
Yeah.
But
I think people have already forgotten about Jonathan Taylor.
no, yeah,
which
they
I'm
have.
trying to remind you, he's one of the top backs in the league.
I know. I mean, hey, what's it? 2 bad seasons, right? 2 bad seasons can do that.
And it wasn't even like 2 bad seasons. He just got hurt. Like it wasn't.
I count that as a bad season. If I can't
Just
play
'cause
on
he
the
wasn't
field, I'm
playing?
having a bad season.
Just because he wasn't playing.
I mean, yeah, good season means you play.
It's kind of hard to.
I'm not gonna be like, oh
bad.
yeah, Jonathan Taylor had a good season, but I mean, he only played 1 game.
Right, so he didn't even have a season though. So
Like,
how is
I'm
that
not
bad?
gonna count that as a
I
good-
can say that that's a good season.
No.
Yeah, why? Okay, what if he scored 3 touchdowns in that game? That's technically a good season. He played 1 game.
If he finished the season with 3 touchdowns, no, it's not.
If you played 1 game, that's pretty good. It don't make any sense. Why would you call that only a bad season if he didn't play?
Because
he doesn't have an argument for himself.
He was injured, bro.
You can't make that argument for him.
If it was a good season, he would have stayed healthy. His body wouldn't have went kaput on him.
And he would have had better stats because he would have played.
But he didn't. Therefore, bad season.
Like McCaffery didn't play a couple seasons ago. McCaffery was number 1 running back the 2 games he did play.
Okay.
And
He didn't play the rest. Was he number 1 the rest of this week?
No, but he was better than every back in the league combined after only 2 weeks playing.
When he was injured, he was better. When he was
Yeah,
sitting-
actually, yes.
When
he
he was
probably
sitting on the sideline, he was
Yeah,
putting up more points than the players that were on the field.
Probably because everyone else is not McCaffery. Everyone else sucks.
Dude,
That's why McCaffrey's the
glazing
GOAT.
is crazy.
McCaffrey's the GOAT. That's why nobody will ever
The
take him.
GOAT?
He'll probably end up there.
The GOAT.
Yeah, why not? He's already on pace for it. Well, I don't know what you really define as the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Yeah. Well, who's your GOAT?
See, running back's tricky for me. Cause
We're getting into a whole nother conversation
I have like a 1A,
here.
1B.
I mean, Barry Sanders is my GOAT.
I have Sanders and I have Jim Brown. Those
Yeah.
are my 2. Those are my 2.
I mean, I guess.
They're interchangeable for me. I don't care who you say, as long as you say one of those 2.
Jim Brown just played in a great time. He was just a
No, I know.
better athlete than everybody else. on the
I
field,
know.
You know?
He
So it's
really
hard to do that.
revolutionized the game of football.
We're getting to a different
That would be
conversation. We're getting off topic
That would
here.
be another podcast. Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
But I just don't understand your argument at all with the bad game. Like, he didn't play. I don't get that at all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know who.
Oh yeah. Hey John, get to it.
Hey. You're up, I think.
All right.
3.
Number 3. This is where we get to the big boys.
Well, this is where we're actually in agreement here.
I have Brees Hall.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
I agree with
Awesome.
that.
Producer,
And I don't
might as well
think-
throw John's up there too. No need.
And
There you go.
There's really not much to talk about
Yeah,
here.
I
I
mean,
mean, he's
He
also
finished as 2 last year.
he's going as the running back 2 and 3
Yeah. I think he has over 1,000 yards rushing this year.
behind
And if-
Bijan.
Yeah. And then if he keeps his almost 600 yards receiving, as he did last year he finished with 591 and 4 touchdowns receiving. If he keeps those numbers around the same and then adds a little bit more to the rushing, dude,
He needs more touchdowns. That's what he needs.
I know he's going to be I think he's gonna be really
Because
good.
he finished at the 2 right behind McCaffery, but McCaffery had such a good season. And he didn't even miss and he played every game.
Mhm.
And he's had 1,000 yards on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns. The receiving is what's so beautiful.
The receiving is the only reason I put him instead of 2 to 3, because I don't think he's getting another almost 600-yard receiving season. I think he'll be. Honestly, I think he'll have a lot. I think he'll be at like 400, 450.
Right.
But I think that's just enough to push him down one more.
I went back and forth with this a little bit. Like he was my 2 or 3 behind McCaffery. I just didn't know like exactly where I wanted him. He can definitely be 2.
Yeah.
You know, he's really one of the only backs that can compete with McCaffery for that top spot because the receiving is so high.
Yeah.
You know, 76 catches with no Aaron Rodgers last year. 591 yards through the air at 4 touchdowns. I mean, that's great.
See, but I feel like Rodgers isn't really good at target the running back. I think he's going to go more towards Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams. I don't think he's really going to look at Breece Hall as a passing option as much.
I think he has to. Well, Mike Williams really won't be himself for the whole year, so it'll be Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall out of the backfield. And Breece Hall's probably going to get the ball 25 times a game.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think his rushing stats are going to be there.
Yeah,
I just don't think he's going to have as much receiving.
Old man Rodgers off of an injury. You have to give Breece Hall the ball.
Rodgers is still going to finish top 10 in fantasy quarterback rankings.
Only according to you.
No. Yo, if you think so,
bro,
comment down below.
He's not even getting drafted in leagues.
Says who?
Says
Tell me what. Yeah, say that again. When me and you draft our teams next weekend.
Yeah. You're gonna take
Aaron
Rodgers
is on the roster.
Oh, he might be on our roster as a backup.
No, as a starter. First overall pick.
By who? First overall pick.
You know who has a first overall pick? Didn't pick McCaffery the last time he had it.
That's right. He finished last. Oh no, he didn't have first overall pick last year.
I'm not saying last year.
Oh.
That's what you made it sound like.
I said last time he had it.
Oh, last time he had it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't even know who I'm taking yet. It seems so obvious.
I don't know who I'm taking.
No,
yet.
but like I feel like as you guys were talking about the running backs, I have more of a feeling that this is gonna be McCaffrey's like dud year. Like he's gonna get injured.
Dud year.
No, I feel like he's gonna get injured.
He's already been.
This
injured.
better stay in the podcast.
No, it actually is.
This is staying. This is
I
staying.
think he's gonna get injured this year.
So you're preying on an injury. That's
no, I'm not
crazy.
praying on injury.
Are you not picking McCaffrey with the first overall pick?
You're preying on an injury.
This whole podcast.
No. Be dead ass right now. You're not picking McCaffrey.
Being thought about. It's in the brain.
Interesting. Now listen, the only argument with that is because like there's a lot of people who don't want the first overall pick. Well, usually nobody wants the first overall pick because I feel like you always have to take the person that finished 1 beforehand, right?
Yeah.
McCaffrey to me is one of those anomalies where he can and probably will finish as the 1 back-to-back years. You know, it's hard for a receiver to do it, especially when you have a running back that's doing his job and the receiver's job.
Yeah.
So how do you not take him there? If he does stay healthy, it's almost guaranteed that he finishes better than everybody else. Seriously. You know, because look at what Tyreek Hill did last year.
I just want to say real quick, we're not talking about McCaffrey.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about Breece Hall.
How do we get on McCaffrey? Oh, with the overall pick.
Yeah, with the overall pick.
We're going to have nothing left to talk about him when we get up to him.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's not much to say about him.
I mean, Breece, listen.
I said all I had to say about Breece.
I said all I had to say, too. I mean, he's a receiving back. He's fast. You know?
Yeah.
It's like Devon A-Chain. Seriously, once he gets the ball, he is gone.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say. He's
got a big-ass nose.
Damn.
No offense, Breece, but I mean, your nose is wide.
Damn, Breece. Shit.
Like, look, it's like, oh,
it's like, oh.
Number 2.
Number 2. Yeah,
I got
Bijan.
Bijan.
I guess we're done with Breece. All right, yeah, we're moving on to Bijan. You got Bijan. Okay. I mean, I've said everything I needed to say about him.
Yeah, I mean,
Your turn.
See, last year he finished with as running back 9 as a rookie, which again, great.
Mm-hmm.
But he only had 450. Oh wait, what the fuck? I'm looking at the wrong thing. My bad. He had 976 rushing yards with 487 receiving yards. I think with the new coach, the new quarterback, just the new scheme that's going on, I think he's having like 11 to 1,200 yards. And receiving, I think, is probably going to stay around the same. Because I do think Kirk Cousins is going to target more with, like, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. I don't think he's really going to target Bijan as much as whatever quarterback they had last year. They had like 8 of them.
Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder and Mariota.
Was Mariota last year?
Or was that 2 years ago?
That was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was like Ridder and
Oh, it was
somebody else.
Rattler? No. Was it?
Rattler's on the
He's on the Saints.
He just got drafted.
Yeah, no.
That's also another topic we should talk about. Rattler's gonna be the starter by like week 3 over Derek Carr.
But yeah, I mean, I just think he takes a jump in his rushing yards this year, and he only had 4 rushing touchdowns, but also 4 receiving touchdowns. I think this year he has at least 8 rushing touchdowns, and then I mean, if he could keep the 4 receiving touchdowns, that's 12 touchdowns right there. That's great for fantasy. So that's really all I gotta say about him. I mean, you kind of hit a lot of points about him. So who do you have at number 2, John?
All right, now this pick, okay.
Oh, this one you said was controversial, right?
Very.
Yeah.
Especially this high. Because he is going at like the running back like 4 or 5 behind McCaffery, Brees, and Bijan.
Okay.
He's going around he's going like either before or after like Jonathan Taylor in that area.
Yo, real quick. Yo, he looks kind of scary. Why is he smiling like that, bro? Yo, he looks like the big ass alien from Lilo and Stitch. You know what I'm talking about? Like
This is crazy. No, this is staying, definitely.
Dude, like the buff one, you know what I'm talking
It's just, we're just never going to have him as guests on the podcast because Kevin just won't stop disrespecting them.
Reese's big nose and Bijan looks like an alien from Lilo and Stitch.
Well, alright, in post, we're gonna put up a photo of who I'm talking about, and y'all gonna know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's going to be flashed up right here.
Come on, they could be twins.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off there.
That's alright.
Go ahead. Who's your number
Thanks.
2?
Mine, you're alright. Oh my god. He's crying.
Okay.
Those tears in your eyes. I'm laughing because he's laughing so hard.
Okay. Who's your number 2, John?
He'll be alright. He's good.
Oh.
My 2, little controversial, little high. Okay. He did finish as the running back 3 last year. Okay. Now he was hurt, but when he came back, he started off the season great as a waiver wire pickup last year. Okay. Missed a few games in the middle of the season, comes back and dominates the back half of the year. Insane volume, can catch the ball, rush the ball. He's on a pretty decent offense. All right. Now a little bit higher for most people, but personally, I think he's gonna have a phenomenal season. Granted, he stays healthy.
Okay.
My number 2 running back is Kyren Williams. That's who I got as my second running back. Now, I'm probably the only one that's got him this high.
That's number 2.
As number 2.
I mean,
I
put him honorable mention.
That's crazy.
But like,
That's crazy.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't
That's
be surprised
insane.
if he finishes like.
Oh no, my bad.
If he finishes like.
He was the running back 2 for most of the season. Forgot about the hurt games and whatever. He finished as the running back 7.
I mean,
total
I
in
wouldn't
the
be
year.
surprised if he finished between 6 and 10. I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean,
6 and 10. I mean,
number
listen,
2.
I think he just
Do you know how
finishes
good you
a
gotta be to be
little
number
bit
2?
better than these guys. Yeah. Listen, it was either him or Brees. I just didn't know who I wanted to actually put up there. But me personally, I believe Kyren has a big chance to finish that high.
Number 2.
Number 2. Let me spell it out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you spell all 3 ways?
2.
Do you know how to spell all 3 ways, John? Did you pass your spelling
2.
test?
2.
See, you just drew it with invisible ink.
Right.
I
How
wanted
else you
to
want me
hear
to
it
do
come
it?
out of your mouth.
Like 2, 2, 2?
I want to hear the letters.
Oh, like TWO, TOO, and TO.
Thank you.
Oh, my bad. And that's what you wanted.
What about when you hit him with the TOOOOO? The two.
No sense.
Never gonna end.
Oh, I keep.
It's all staying in.
Johnny boy, keep talking about him.
Kyren only played 12 games last year.
Okay.
Okay, and this was clearly his running back. All right, Sean
Yeah.
McVay, everyone knows his offense. Very high powered. Okay, knows how to dish the ball to the rookies, to the young guys. We saw Cooper Kupp have that insane season in 21. Puka and Kyren. Well, Puka as a rookie last year, Kyren as a sophomore running back. Both had phenomenal years. The Rams offense was insane, Got to the postseason. I think that they will also get back to the playoffs this year. Kyren, to me, is just the definition of a workhorse back.
Okay.
Like, they drafted Blake Corum, running back from Michigan last year. But
Who I think is good. Very good.
But out of reports I hear is Blake is never going to see the backfield as long as Kyren is on the field. That's what I'm reading from reports. That's not out of my mouth. That's out of Rams reporters' mouths.
I don't think that's right. I think once Blake gets his shot, he's gonna be very good.
No.
Whether that's this year, next year, 2 years, when he gets his shot, he's gonna be good.
He was okay in college, but what did he go? He got drafted second or third round?
Something like that.
Yeah. Kyren in 12 games put up 1,200 yards on the ground and 12 touchdowns, which is more. He did more in 12 games than these so-called top guys that we're naming did in full 17-game seasons. He also had 32 catches for only 200 receiving yards, but he still had 3 receiving touchdowns, which is pretty good for the games that he played. If the amount that the volume that he was getting is just an absurd amount, and the Rams have good enough offense, to put him in positions to catch the ball and get the ball. Granted, I thought his receiving was a little bit higher. He did have a lot of catches, so a lot of within the 5-yard line screen passes, because not too many yards. Still 3 receiving touchdowns for the amount of games he played. I think if he just stays healthy, again, plays all 17 games, I think the workhorse, back just keeps on going. I think he puts up more than 1,200 yards on the ground. I think he's in the range of 1,400 to 1,500 yards. Touchdowns, I think maybe they dropped down a little bit rushing-wise. Maybe his receiving work gets a little bit more. I mean, granted, it was either him or Brees. I just think for him, I think he just gets that slight edge just because at least the Rams offense I've seen work fully. And this is Kyren, not Brees, where people have already been on Brees the last couple of years as a top dog. Kyren wasn't big name and still finished as a top running back last year. Jets, I have not seen the Jets with a quarterback, the Jets offense that we've been talking about the last couple of seasons, making the playoffs with the full,
with everybody
there. I haven't seen that fully out of the Jets yet. Even though Brees himself still very good, I want to see it fully from them. I need to see another full season out of Brees again. I just think I feel like I'm
Jonathan Taylor.
A little bit. Yeah, and it's not even that, honestly. I don't even need to see it, honestly, for Brees. I saw it last year, but I just think Kyren just has that slight edge. Okay. I just think he has that slight edge. And with the Rams offense, at least, Puka and Cooper Kupp have been dealing with a little bit of injury. And if Cooper Kupp misses time or whatnot, now that he's getting a little older, I think that just gives more opportunity for Kyren. And Sean McVay, as we saw all last year in the games that Kyren played, isn't afraid to give Kyren the ball 25 times. 25 times a game, even though he's a smaller guy compared to all these other running backs.
You see, I'm not mad that you have him on your list.
You're just mad I have him that high.
Yeah. I can see him being on the top 10 list, but number 2, I think, is just a little bit crazy for him. So...
I am as shocked as you are that I have him this high, seriously, because I was not expecting...
I think you should make a change, John.
I'm not making the change.
No, I think you should make a change.
No, because it was either going to be him or Brees. He wasn't dropping out of my top 3. He was going to stay at 3.
Okay.
If that was going to be the highest. That was going to be the lowest I was going to put him.
Okay.
Seriously. Because last year, you had McCaffery, but, Kyren, off of waivers... wasn't even drafted, off of waivers, was putting up numbers similar to McCaffery. And had he actually played all year, he was going to probably fight McCaffery for that one spot. Seriously.
All right.
And I just think that will happen again. Granted,
Okay.
he doesn't rip his ankle apart and miss 4 or 5 weeks. So that's just a killer.
I mean, hey, if he does,
I'm here.
hats off to him.
I'm trying to give the best argument I possibly can because me just personally deep down, I just think Kyron just is that dog. I think he just has
he's
that
that dog.
opportunity to finish as a top back. Brees, has a better argument for this right now. He played a full year last year on a shit offense. Was healthy and did very well.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think it'll either be him or Brees finishing at the 2 or 3. They're interchangeable for me.
Okay.
But for me, I just have Kyron slightly higher. And that's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not mad that he's there. I'm just mad that he's so high.
I am a little I am shocked that you don't have him on the list at all, despite what he did last year.
He's at like 11. He's literally my honorable. Like I wanted to put him on there, but I just couldn't.
Like he's going as like the 4th running back.
No, I know. I wanted to put him on there. I just couldn't do it.
Off the top 10.
Just couldn't do it.
I think that's crazy. I think that's even more crazier that he's off the top 10 than I have as high as I do. Yeah.
You see, only time.
I'm not gonna say it's more crazy. I'll say it's as crazy that he's not in the top 10.
I mean, only time will tell. Season hasn't started.
Who do you have as a 10, 9, 8 again? I forget.
Cook,
JJ.
Someone and then Derrick Henry.
Kyron, I definitely put Kyron over James Cook.
I have James Cook.
Yeah.
What's crazy?
Oh, definitely over Derrick
James
Henry.
Cook, Isaiah Pacheco, Derrick Henry is
What's
my
crazy,
8, 9, 10.
Kyron Williams being this high or Aaron Rodgers being on his QB list.
Well, I guess that's for the people to decide.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
Is it?
It's crazy to have him. If it's more crazy to have him at number 2, or if it's more crazy to have him not even on your top 10.
And then, is it more crazy that Kyron is at 2 on the running back list, or is it more crazy that Aaron Rodgers is at 8 on the list?
You know my answer.
Dude, Herbert with a shit offense is probably gonna finish higher than Rodgers.
Yo, shut your mouth. Bro.
I'm serious.
Nah, shut your mouth, dog.
I'm not even lying. All right.
Let's get to number 1.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who it is. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Yep.
CMC.
What else?
He's
is
that
to say about
dog.
him?
We got really nothing left to say.
Yeah.
Man had an insane season last year.
Yeah. What was it? He had 1,400 yards rushing and then 550 yards receiving, with 7 receiving touchdowns and 14 rushing touchdowns. That's crazy. 21 total touchdowns.
Oh, we didn't play the last game of the year.
Like, he had a crazy start to the season. He started the season off 25 points, 22 points, 22 points, 48 points. Then had a down week with 13, and then went 14, 22, 29, 20. Like,
yeah.
He
I mean,
had a
dude.
41, like, bro.
All year, McCaffery, running back 3,
his
7,
lowest-
4, 1, 12, 15, 5, 2, bye week. 6, 4, 2, 7, 17. That's okay. 1, 2, and then 21. He had two weeks out of the top 15 all season.
Bro, he had 2 weeks he didn't have above 13 points.
And
he
bro.
had 13. His worst week was 13.1, and that's a week he didn't have a touchdown.
Like, he had an insane year. He almost put up 400 receiving
No, I know.
fantasy points that he did in his 2019 season. The touchdowns obviously were a big thing.
Yeah,
21
touchdowns.
21 total touchdowns is crazy. 14
If he
on the
could do that
ground.
again.
I mean, dude, he led the league in rushing yards,
Obviously.
which was big. But his receiving, you just can't touch it. 67 catches and 564 yards seems low for him.
Yeah.
But the touchdowns,
He's had over 1,000 before, right?
1,000, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't know why I have his stats right here.
Yeah. 7
It's been a while
touchdowns,
since I
though.
had that, but
Yeah, 7 is the most receiving touchdowns, though, he's caught in a season, which was crazy.
yeah. And 14 is the second most.
Hold on. I just want to
rushing
go back real
touchdowns
quick.
He did have 15 back in.
I have another little piece that I would like to add to my argument for Kyron. I'd like to go back here. In the games that Kyron did play,
Yes.
though, okay,
We're never getting off this guy.
he finished 9, week 1.
Okay.
Then the running back 2 against San Francisco, week 2. All right, higher than McCaffery.
Okay.
Then didn't really get the ball like at all on that Monday night game against Cincinnati, so he finished 28. But then running back 4 31. Again, didn't touch the ball a lot. That's disgusting. 3. Wow. 2, 4, 3 every other week. Then he missed 4 games plus the bye week. Comes back against Arizona and finishes the running back 1 with 40 points. Running back 9, 18, 5, 12, 1. He finished as a running back 1 in a span of 6 weeks twice. Running back 5, 2, 4, 3. I mean, I got nothing left to argue, honestly. Kyron for
I
president.
put him at the end of that season. I put him at 9.
What?
Running back 9 at the end of that season.
You would still put him at the top 10, though. You said you would put him not in the top 10.
That's crazy. I would put him in the top 10. But 2 is crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy. But yeah, CMC, if you have the number 1 overall pick, do not overthink it. I know a lot of you out there are looking at the number 1 overall pick as a curse, all right, as a disease. All right, I know nobody wants it. But
honestly, when McCaffery is the number 1 pick, I wanted it. I don't care that I don't care that you had to wait.
There's nothing to think about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't care that you have to wait however long to get another player.
Yeah.
You have McCaffery. He's good for he's 2 players in 1.
Exactly.
Like,
McCaffery.
the amount of points he's putting up for you, you could literally play a week without a wide receiver, and McCaffrey's gonna
another running back.
Points. Yeah.
That's a hero running back. You don't have to draft the running back for another 3 rounds. You could literally cover your entire running back position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Focus on other piece of your draft. That's the whole point of drafting McCaffrey is you get that luxury.
Yeah, just get McCaffrey and then get a solid number 2.
That's it.
You don't need to get McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson. You don't need
McCaffrey and bumfuck whoever the fuck on whatever team you want. Seriously, you could draft Blake Corum, who's never going to play. Go draft Tank Bigsby in Jacksonville, who's never going to fucking play. He could be your backup, and you would probably still dominate.
Play a little bit. They should play a little bit.
Who?
If you have McCaffrey, your backup running back should play a little bit.
Just a little bit?
At least put up 2 points a week.
Like James Conner from the Cardinals. Is he still the starter?
Yeah.
Yeah, go draft a James Conner. No one's drafting him in the first 7 rounds.
It's a good pick. But I think we really got to just focus on the number 1 overall pick in general because a lot of people are scared of it. Every year, the number 1 overall pick either, never repeats, but either has
McCaffrey the last few years.
Either has an injury or has a problem. I mean, McCaffrey has finished as running back 1 twice now in his career.
Is it twice?
Unless it's more.
No, it's twice.
Twice.
He's finished number 1 twice, number 2
and
twice,
number 2
and
twice,
number 10.
and number 10. So when McCaffrey plays a full season, he's a top 10 running back, obviously. But
and then obviously the other 2 seasons he was in.
5 healthy seasons, 4 of them have either been 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you have anything to argue, you have nothing to argue against that.
All 5 healthy seasons win the top 10. Like that.
But 1 or 2.
You can't. I know.
That's the difference.
No, I know. But I'm saying you can't ask for more than that.
And 10 was
top 10 every
10
year.
was his rookie year, so we can't even go off of that.
He was getting used to it.
Dude. Just you can't mess it up.
Yeah.
When you are.
Wow, he had more receiving yards than he had rushing yards in his rookie year. And more receiving touchdowns than rushing. What the fuck did he do his rookie year?
That was Cam Newton.
That was still Cam and Greg. We had a good team that year.
Yeah. Bleep out that curse word, by the way. I'm sorry, guys.
When you are on draft night, right? You got the first overall pick, right? You're feeling bad? Fuck that. When you look at the players that are on the available to pick, and you see McCaffrey is there for the taking, you really want to see him drop.
You should pick McCaffrey so fast, it feels like the guy who has the number 2 pick had the first pick.
Exactly.
Your name, it should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, number 2 is on
McCaffrey's already going.
Yeah,
to the point where everybody in the room is like, wait, McCaffrey got hurt or something? He's not playing?
You should look at your buddies.
He's already on the roster.
Are you going to draft? And it's yo, it's your turn. I already drafted McCaffrey.
He's already on the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's how fast you should. Yeah. You should say it before the app even has a chance to say it.
It should be a millisecond.
Yeah.
You should have McCaffrey on the team.
As soon as
the
you
moment
hear
that hits
ding,
0, that countdown hits 0.
Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Take McCaffrey.
Hit select.
Okay? Because unless he has another, he would pretty much have to tear his ACL or have a bad injury. Knock on wood, that does not happen. But
I like that. That was in sync.
That
wasn't planned, folks.
He stays healthy. He's fine. He's gonna finish top 3 regardless.
I think he's gonna.
You will get a return on your investment at the 1.
Yeah.
Which never happens.
Even if he doesn't finish 1, he'll finish 2.
Whip-D. That's still a pretty good return.
Yeah, right? You'll be fine.
But yeah, I think that's it for the running back
top 10
rankings. You got anything left to
add? Just let us know what you guys think. What if you think my list is dumb, you think his list is dumb, who you would change, who you put where. Put it in the comments down
Put it
below.
in the comments, yeah. And this will go up on TikTok, so you'll have plenty of time to comment there. Now, stay tuned for the receiver rankings and tight end rankings. Will be coming
soon.
later this week. All right, but
Did you mention the TikTok?
Yeah. You could get this will be getting released on TikTok soon, so you'll be able to comment there and complain. All negative stuff.
You also don't have to sit through an hour and like 20 minutes hearing us talk about it.
or do. That's where you come for the explanations.
If you want to hear the explanations,
come here.
Come here. We got you.
That's it. But yeah, stay tuned for the receiver rankings coming up soon, and I think that's it for now.
Yeah. I think so.
Hope y'all enjoyed.
See y'all next time.
Deuces.
Peace.